Greetings, fellow songwriters and seekers, and welcome back to Muse Measure. If you haven't done so yet, please hit the guy in the lotus petal down below, subscribe to our channel, benefit from all this great insights that we're getting from the questions of viewers like you. And here's one from Rachel Kim in Seattle, Washington. Sometimes when I write songs, I feel like I'm imitating my influences too closely. How do you know when influence is helping your writing and when it's preventing you from finding your own voice? Yeah, I can definitely relate to this. And those influences are not something you want to shirk off too quickly because they really have guided you, they've inspired you to start writing. They are your guides to make certain turns or choices in your songwriting. And so sometimes it just is a matter of just getting through it and writing a lot of material and just going with it. I remember when I used to write poetry, I would actually hear Allen Ginsberg's voice in my head as I was writing it. And so I was definitely writing in his rhythmic patterns along those long breaths that he would write, like a Whitman-esque breath. And so that was a huge influence. But that's okay, I think when you are doing it yourself and you're noticing it yourself, you're much more sensitive to it than maybe other people. Now, if other people are saying you sound exactly like the Beatles, well, there's worse things that people could say to you, right? And I think it's just, it takes a matter of time to develop your own voice, and it's just a matter of doing it a lot, and eventually it will come through. Now, one thing you can do is you can take a break from listening to these artists and maybe branch out and listen to a lot more different artists. What I did was kind of a genealogy of influence. So I would take an artist that I was absolutely enamored with, like say Bob Dylan. As soon as I discovered Bob Dylan's music, I think it was maybe 12 or 13 years old. And I actually discovered him through the Beatles, who I was also absolutely enamored with. I still am. I'm still enamored with both of them. But I checked out who was Bob Dylan influenced by, who was he listening to? Because I wanted to be like him. And so I, of course, discovered Woody Guthrie, Hank Williams. And as I listened to their music, I got this deeper sense. And I started to write a lot less like Bob Dylan. Because for a while there, every song I wrote sounded like a Bob Dylan song. That's like a cheap copy of a Bob Dylan song. Same with the Beatles as well. So just starting to listen to other artists. And if you are just still enamored with a certain artist, that's okay. You can just look at their influences because they're in the same boat, and it kind of deepens your appreciation for that artist too. So starting to listen to other people and maybe other genres of music, just broadening your perspective a little bit. Learn songs from other artists. Try to imitate them in your songwriting, because that's always a good exercise to do, is to do some kind of imitation, and that should help you to broaden the scope of your influences so that it's not just all like, oh, you sound like Bob Seger or something like that. And a lot of people sound like a copy. All the great artists sound like a copy of somebody. Bob Dylan, some people said he sounded like a lot like Woody Guthrie. He was definitely imitative of him in a lot of ways. But he just went through it. It's not like he stopped and said, oh, I'm going to wait till I'm not hearing Woody Guthrie's voice when I write music. He just kept writing it, and then eventually he found his voice. And, what a voice it is. But it's a combination of a lot of different American musical sources in his voice, and of course him. So just give it time and give it patience, and don't worry about it so much. Just make the music that you want to make. And if it sounds too much like your idol, then that's fine for now. Just keep making it, and eventually your voice will come through. You can't help but do that. Maybe don't try to strive so much to be like them, and don't put them on so much of a pedestal, and broaden your scope to include other artists. I think that will help you start to, not be so influenced by them. All right. Well, I hope that's helpful to you, and let me know what your thoughts are and what your experience is as you try to apply some of these things to your process. Please put them down in the comments. If anyone else has their 2 cents about how they dealt with this, I'd love to hear from that too, so that we can have a little bit of a community here addressing these issues. All right, well, best of luck with this songwriting process about shirking your influences and getting them out of your head. I'm just joking, of course. All right, take care.